Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to provide all of the tools, well, maybe not all the tools, to manifest anything. Come to my channel. I will show you all kinds of ways to connect to you, and we're going to do that today. All right, what are we going to do? Get ready. You are the ultimate creator of the matrix, of all the programs, and beyond. Your brain is the computer. You program the computer. Everything programs the computer. In fact, you're not the only one programming it. Because the computer is exposed to all kinds of other stuff out there. And it is like artificial intelligence. It's so powerful. It's so powerful that it could actually take over the world. If we allowed it, right? Artificial intelligence has that capability. It could destroy us. Because if it pulls in information and makes decisions, it literally could. This is amazing. AI, artificial intelligence, could make a decision that man and woman are a threat to the planet, and it could exterminate us based on the fact that we are bad for ourselves. So we better be careful with that and behave. And that's why AI is so dangerous, is because if we were behaving, it would not be an issue. But because we are such a detriment to each other and the planet, it could make a higher decision that we are a problem and exterminate us. Your brain's no different. Your brain, if you are ever worrying, if you are ever telling yourself anything other than you're amazing, is a story created by the computer that you have programmed it to do. That's it. And you keep running the same program. It's looping over and over and over again. It is only taking in what you are giving it. It is not judging. Your brain does nothing but compute back what you told it to. How's that happening? Because you have to have a belief behind it. And from that belief, you create feelings, thoughts, and actions. It starts with a belief, and your belief programs the computer that your parents are evil, that Republicans or Democrats or whatever country you're from are, evil idiots, that a certain skin color is dangerous to you, or, that they are, the problem, or religion is dangerous and a threat. And you take this information, and you alone get to make a decision as to what that information equates to, which is a belief, and you program your brain. So your brain now continually gets that same message over and over again. And then as soon as a white person or a black person or a brown or a green person walks in the room, you go, boom! Ooh, evil. Oh, I'm going to be aware of that. Why? Somewhere there was programming. Maybe you got some information. Maybe your parents or your, society or whatever, whoever you've been hanging out with has told you certain things, but you still have to believe it to create that reaction. And you're telling your brain that. So if you don't change that programming in there, it will continue to be triggered. It's only a computer spewing it back. Now here's what's happening. Then you create stories from it, because it is taking this information and creates a story from it. All right? Your second grade teacher told you that you would never amount to anything. So you go home and your parents tell you over and over again, I'm doing one big thing. My next major manifesting course is going to come out in 2019. I tell this story. Teacher tells you you're stupid and you'll never amount to anything. There's teachers that do some serious damage. And, or you should never pursue art, you're not good at it. I've heard that one before. Or you're really bad at music, and then, of course, people go off to be famous. But let's say your teacher tells you this, and you go to your parents and they say, honey, that's not true, and whatever. But that still sticks with you. And you choose to believe the teacher. And no matter what your parents say or what anybody else says, you're thinking, here's a higher authority, my teacher, who must have seen something in me that was not positive. And so you spend the rest of your life self-sabotaging yourself because you're running that program. Only you do that. Nobody, that teacher didn't do it, and your parents didn't do anything. You decided to program yourself with that belief. And so you run that program over and over again. It takes time to deprogram yourself. It's your brain that's doing that. All right? So the difference between the brain and the mind and all this other stuff is irrelevant if you're programming your brain, which, like I said, judges nothing. And then, of course, other things come into play, the mind, the ego, all this other stuff, the frequencies, all that. But we're talking about the program that you're creating. Right now, we're talking about the matrix that you're in, that programs, that decides what this world looks like. So from that program, you see the world a certain way. All right? So you can actually look out there and say, you know, this is a horrible place to be. You're programmed. Your brain is programmed to see everything as a threat. You know, this is a threatening, horrible place to be because you've programmed yourself. You've exposed yourself to conspiracy theory and news and stuff. Somebody said they're still in the conspiracy theory channels because they're going to the higher frequency. Really? I'd be careful with that one. Why do you need to know that? Get out of there. Don't expose yourself to it. Get out of Dodge, all right? This is the program, and it all accumulates. So your brain, based on something else you told it, might take that information and go into fear mode. These are all blocks to you manifesting amazing things, because if you wiped the program out, and there are stories like this. Who's the surgeon? Not even Alexander. There was another one. She had a stroke. She's famous. I know you guys will come up with this in the comments. Had a stroke and completely lost her memory of everything. She went into awakened state. Why? There was no fear. She was in total bliss, totally happy. You can do that, but it takes work because you've got this programming in there that's kicking in every time. But you did it. You did it, and you must deprogram yourself. And all day long you're doing this. There's a story, there's a story, there's a story. That's bad. Oh, this doggone Buddha. One more person I remember I used to have the Buddha head in the background. I guess it's Buddha. I don't know. It just was really something cool. I saw it Pier 1 Imports, and I bought it because it looked peaceful. It looked like somebody meditating. There's all this programming that this is, you know, evil, or are you a Buddhist, or what do you think? Where are you guys coming up with this stuff? This programming and a belief that puts you into a completely different story that wasn't going on here. There was no story in here. It's a piece of concrete art. That's it. All right, so this is what we do. Are you telling yourself a story? What's the programming? It is time to deprogram. This is the brain. The brain is only doing what you told it, so it's going to continue to react, and then it creates stories, and then the mind starts to go off on it. And and then they hate me, and you know, and people have written comments. If you guys read comments, according to what they feel and think, they impose their feelings on me. That, you know, I was upset, or I'm not. I was like, that wasn't even running through my head. Because they come from that. So your programming will allow you to see the world differently, and you'll believe that other people are thinking things that they're not even thinking, or feeling that they are. Oh, they're feeling this, and it's not even crossing their mind. Clear the slate. Clear the program. Clear it. All day long, you're telling yourself a story. What is that story? This 3-second manifesting, that's great. But if you have a belief that is telling some story, then you are self-sabotaging, telling yourself you can't get out of a situation, you'll never find true love, you're not smart enough, you'll never be wealthy, because those are for different kind of people. 90% of the wealthy people, the mega wealthy people, billionaires, are self-made. How's that possible? And a lot of them came from very, very bad foundations. You know, childhood and all that stuff. So there's no excuse. We cannot make excuses. That's a story too. They have an advantage. And you're destroying your possibilities there. You're destroying the probabilities that you could use right now that are limitless. Because anybody can go get wealthy. Anyone. Anyone. Right? We know it. There are stories out there. Anyone can do anything that they please that's within the earthly realms of the roles that we're playing here. We're still a human being. We're still playing a human role. And any human can be wealthy. Any human can find an amazing, healthy love relationship. Any human can find a career path that they absolutely love and are passionate about. That's it. That's it. Are you ready to give up the program? Step out of the matrix? You're creating it all. You're creating all of it. You're not creating mine, you're creating yours. You get to control the program. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.